All right, so this, in my opinion, is the fastest way to go from $0 to financially free in the clearest step-by-step format that I can make this thing. And again, this is obviously a little bit tailored towards more beginners. If you're starting at a lower financial state, even if you have 100 grand, this could still very easily apply to you. This is the exact roadmap that I followed. I started, seriously at, $0 in 2018. And obviously at this time in the last 3 years, this is how I've built most of my money. 992 net worth. This is liquid and it's just what's worked for me. So it hopefully can do the same for you. This is the simplest format that I can go. Let's just literally dive right in. So step one, get monthly active income or cash flow through that door. And I know, trust me, like a lot of people don't want to hear this, especially my young guys. I for sure did not want to. From the ages of 16 to 19, this is what caused my dad and I to constantly fight. But you need money coming through that door no matter what. The steps after this are completely obsolete. They are completely useless if you don't lock this in first, right? Obviously, the 9 to 5 is the easiest option, and it's something that I tried to not take seriously enough. If I had started earning money when I could at like a legal age, I could have been so much further, or just taken things a little bit serious. I had a lot of entrepreneurial kind of kid adventures that I tried as a 16 to 20-year-old, 16, 19-year-old, and everything, it didn't really work out. But point is, like, if you just start getting cash flow through the door, everything else kind of finds its way. Try something, if I could recommend anything, with transferable skills, with skills that is sales or marketing related, or something that is like a high growth, high risk kind of startup, or at least an opportunity you could leverage into a further position. Like if if you absolutely have to work at a fast food chain, work at a warehouse, I get it, or a temp agency or whatever. I completely understand and respect that, but try to find something, longer term where you can actually like just constantly raise the ranks, not necessarily up the chain, but on a skill set basis. That's exactly what I did. I'll talk about that later. Step two, pay off all bad debts. This includes like the stupid high interest credit cards, car loans, payday loans. I absolutely hate that. If you've got a mortgage or you got student loans that are long term, that are like really leveraged out, low interest rate, I'm personally kind of okay with it. Still try to get it down. But dude, like the amount of people that I know that have ruined their lives because of debt and they're still trying to swim out of it is insane, right? It's cheesy, but you can't outrun a bad diet regardless of how hard you train. Like that quote, it's the exact same with investing in high interest debt. It doesn't matter if you're averaging 7, 10, 15% in the S&P 500 or any other investments. It doesn't matter if you have 20 to 25% debt creeping up right behind you. You need to clear that first. And this was a big mental thing for me. I never had crazy amounts of debt, but when I see that credit card statement every single month to this day, it feels so good paying that shit off and just being like, nice, like that's perfect. Now I can, I'm back to break even or whatever, right? You need to do the same thing. I don't know how people operate with these crazy high loans behind them and just living with them. It's almost like you're used to getting the new car. You're used to taking out stupid loans for no apparent reason, right? You got to be careful. Okay. So that's why it's very important. Before I get on to step three, I genuinely want to know, what is your financial freedom number? And why? Right? Why do you want financial freedom? Is it family? For me, it's really family related. I guess my personal number is like 5 to 10 mil, which isn't even that crazy. And enough dividends or like passive income from that to take care of my family for the rest of time. Mine is really simple, but doesn't matter. There's no wrong answer here. 100 million. If you want to be a billionaire, I want to hear it. Leave it below. And I'll give you my thoughts and opinions on that after. Step three, this is where things start to get moving a little bit. Build your emergency fund. This, in my opinion, is what I call survival mode. Survival mode is like paycheck coming in, expenses going out, $1,000 coming in, $1,000 going out. It's like, that's just too close, man. You're not going to be able to get ahead with that. You need to get out of that mode. You need to shoot for 3 to 6 months of your bare bones minimum living expenses. Ideally in a high yield, you can do checking. I had like so much money in a checking account up until even just a couple of years ago. And that was a bit dumb, but try to find a good, reputable, high yield interest account so you can at least make some money on it, right? Make some money on your money. And this is great for, God forbid, you get laid off or you just want to take a break. You're burnt out from, your regular job, or you just want to work on side projects. You can't if you don't have money saved. This is what I need people to understand. It's like, I need to find a job like 2 weeks from now. I'm like, well, how come? It's like, I don't have savings. It's like, well, what the fuck, right? You got to be careful with this. Especially for my guys in their late teens, early 20s too. This allows you to take so much more risks. Alex Becker talks about this perfectly. It's like, dude, he was making I think literally millions a month, and his monthly expenses were like 5 grand. 5 grand a month. That spread, the further that spread is, that's where true freedom comes from. At least that's what it was for me. This is why I kept my burn rate so low from 2022 to 2024. I still do relatively, but I like slowly started splurging in the last couple of months a little bit more. And when you're making 20 to 40 grand a month, you could really do whatever the hell you want if your expenses are like 5 grand or below, right? Trust me, you're going to thank yourselves later on when or if you need the money. And, it's really simple stuff, but this is a principle that, my young guys, they need to understand this. And this is where things get, moving as well. Step 4, invest everything you possibly can once your bills are paid, once your minimum is paid. And this means every possible dollar, not what just you're comfortable with, but what you can. If you do everything above that I literally just mentioned, all of this, you're going to be safe by default. So comfort, it's like your bills are covered, you're building the emergency fund, you've got income. Comfort is just your body trying to be fearful when now is not the time to do so. I wish I learned this a little bit earlier too. I invested half my paycheck and then I slowly got a little bit comfortable. I saw that account growing and growing. Then I slowly peeled back. It's like, what the hell? It's like, dude, why wouldn't you just continue keeping that up and being consistent with it? You need to invest first, spend second. 99% of people do the exact opposite, which, sue me, I think is retarded. I really think that's just stupid. Any left over after investing, and that includes in yourself as well. Buy whatever the hell you want. Doesn't matter. The designer bag, designer shirts, nice dinners. Just be careful with the first part here, right? And as I said, this includes investing in yourself. I think investing in yourself is probably the best investment you're ever going to make. So highly, highly recommend that. Even after, when I hit 8 figures, I will continue this method. This isn't financial advice, but I invest in tickers like VOO, VTI, VFE. That's where majority of my net worth is and will continue to be. And honestly, I say this as a joke, but kind of not, is I'd rather go homeless than ever disrupt compounding. This is where people mess up so badly, is they invest for 1 to 2 years, get some good returns, and then withdraw for some dumb shit, some dumb purchases that they're going to make, or meme coins. And now they have nothing to show for it. It's like, dude, this is the dumbest thing you could have done. You need to be way more careful with this. Let the money work for you. Let the money build for you in the background while you're focusing on other steps, which I'm going to get into in a minute. Act as if you want to trick, act as if the money isn't even yours yet. Still look at it. I still look at it all the time, my accounts, even though I probably shouldn't have. I'm a little bit obsessive, but just don't ever sell. Don't. Lock it if you have to. Step 5. This is where things got exciting, at least for me, big time, is find ways to increase your monthly income. Freelancing, side hustle. In most cases, this is probably going to start with a side hustle, which in my opinion is the best. So freelancing, selling stuff on eBay, Uber, DoorDash, I just don't care. A pro for this is just more mental than anything. It slowly starts to open your mind as to what it's like to have other income sources and not rely on the 9 to 5. Right. And this could even catch up to your 9 to 5 salary and your main income, which was huge. When my first freelance payments started to come through, it boggled my mind and slowly just started to unwire the conditioning that I needed a 9 to 5 for the rest of my life. I was always told that friends, family, news propaganda, whatever. It's like you need, sufficient safe income, which just wasn't true. I remember one customer of the freelancing stuff covered my food and groceries for the month. Then the next covered my car insurance, my phone bill, my Wi-Fi, utilities. And then a big one came through and covered all my month's rent. And before I knew it, I was saving like net after all expenses, 5 to 6K a month, which was insane for me who's making 3 to 4 grand a month from my salary. Right. And you never know how long it's going to last, but just take it for what it is. It's like, dude, who cares? You're in a really good position at this point. You've got income coming through, low expenses, stable salary plus side income. Investments are staying consistent. It's like take this in, rewind the video, pause the video if you have to. I don't care. But just remember, like, this was so good for me to realize. It's like, dude, I'm in a good position and it'd be stupid to mess this up. Number 6, arguably the most important. This has built majority of my money in the last 3 years. You need to start some type of high cash flow business, online service as an example, right? Doesn't have to be. It could be high ticket online sales where you're just selling for another company. That's totally fine as well. Make it a service business if possible, something that you can own 100% of. Like I said, ideally online. I like that because of location freedom and I don't have to be bound to one specific area or city or even country, right? Everything for me is online, and it was online too at that time. Banks, processors, customer assets, CRM, all that. It's all online. And agency ideas, paid ads, web design agency, software development, call center company. Dude, there's a million ideas. E-commerce and TikTok shop, whatever the hell you have to do, work for free to get a first few case studies, or just charge a smaller amount for those first few customers. Market and leverage those case studies properly through paid ads and cold email. And you'll never go broke if you know how to sell this. If you know how to sell, there's so much money. It's stupid how much money there is in just learning how to sell anything. And this is why I said in the first thing, try to find first step, try to find transferable skills. You can eventually, shift off to a bigger opportunity, selling for yourself, for example, which is exactly what I did. If you do this in your 20s, you will never have to worry about money ever again, going from 25 to 30s and for the rest of your life. So if I could boil it down to literally just one simple thing that too long didn't read, it's simple. Don't get fancy. Live like you're broke. Keep your head down. Stack and invest your cash as much as humanly possible. One day you're just going to come up for air and not even realize where the hell you are. For me, that was around $1 million. We're getting close. And that moment, at least for me, was ultimate freedom. That is when you've made it. That for me will probably be a more exciting moment, like hitting 10K a month, than when I hit 10 or 25 million net worth. That's my goal. But 10K a month was just insane. To be self-sufficient for years is a feeling that I hope every single person watching this video can achieve at some point in their life. And this can happen in just a few years. Trust me. So it frees your mind, honestly, that you can take care of your family. You can live an extremely good life when you earn more. You're able to save and invest more. And dude, I've made videos on this too. I'm all for frugality, but what I've learned over the years is you can pinch your two pennies together hoping it turns into $1, but you need higher cash flow. You need more money coming through that door. There's only so many subscriptions you can cut or meals you can't go out to because you're saving money. It's like, dude, fuck that. Okay. It's good discipline in the beginning, but come on. I don't want to be stressed about a nice dinner bill or car maintenance or just all these other things. If I want to buy my future kids, something that's dude, who cares? Just do it. Right. Money's meant to be spent. And just make sure that you're protecting yourself. So like I said, comment below, ambitions, goals, numbers, all that stuff. I genuinely want to hear it. If you've made it this far, I want to see you win. Subscribe if you enjoyed. And thank you for watching. I appreciate it.